problem framing, it starts with the decision, not the data dump. Because in many cases, I can see that business analytics is coming with the data issues and how you are going to analyze those data. But however, it is important to link and create that connection data and with business as well as human. And this is the part of the business analytics. And this session gives the students guide the language and structure and how analytics works. And so it is like first motto starts like good analytics begin with a better question. Better example from retail hospitality. Manager says sales are down. So this is not yet an analytic brief because we don't know which sales and which time period compare with what baseline or what decision or which decision is on the table. So therefore, only sales are down is not the data business analytics itself, okay? It's just only one of the code. So therefore, it is important saying that which sales, what period, and what kind of baseline are exist. And a useful theory point here is that decision-focused analytics is like how we decide in the business. So analytics is decision focus. Therefore, please mind that decisions are important and analytics are serving that perspective for the decision makers. In simple terms, analytics should support a decision, not just produce information. It means, like Herbert Simon's idea, that managers make decisions under limits of time and information. So analysts' role is to reduce confusion, not add more slides or not more add some confusion. So maybe I can ask you from your example, from your own experience. Have you ever seen a report with lots of numbers but no clear action at the end? So this is the business analytics offering action and target. Okay. Slide. Oops, I moved too much. So I planned this session like 40 minutes, and I would like to give some context and some kind of hook and framework walkthrough, hard and soft discussions. This is management science or social science are taking care of these hard and soft discussions, and 3 technique drills I would like to go, and mini case brief. And this is, I try to plan this session to reassure to educator that this is the design as discussion based on tutorial, not theory heavy lecture. So first is like this presentation is kind of problem definition, and then organize the measure, and then identify who must trust and use the output. By the end, students should be able to separate business problem from a data problem and frame a decision-centric analytics question and build a KPI tree and identify an accountable owner. If you allow me to give example, if complaints because the data is and business problem and data problems are a bit distinct each other, because sometimes I see students are struggling to keep up with the distinguishing with this too. Data sometimes problematic because you need to set that data according to You need to prepare it, okay? You need to remove the outliers. You need to take care of that one. Like, let's say, if complaints rise in a hotel, the business problem may be poor guest experience, but the data problem may be missing response time data or inconsistent complaint categories. So therefore, sometimes we see the problem is coming from how the data is not collected accordingly or consistently. So those are related. So it means a business problem, not only a poor guest experience, also data is just poorly collected. Okay. A very helpful theory point is a constructive alignment in teaching, and also in practice, I can say, um, in practice, good analytics starts with a business understanding before data understanding. So these are the core elements. And teaching tip: open with vague managerial statement like sales are down, and let students critique why it is not yet an analytic brief. And what I added beyond the basics, hard skills and soft skills shown together on every technique slides, mini case studies, or students, so students move from theory to action. So which is business analytics lectures should take care of that one rather than theory. And because it's going to helpful for them in practice, prepare them for real life. And extra room for ethic I added for this lecture, and who's going to be owner of this decision, ownership, and implementation of the discussions. Where business analytics fits, I think using a ladder, this ladder on the right, starting with describe and finishing with prescribe, is a main in the textbooks for the business analytics. And this is showing the business analytics broader than dashboard. Because I can see business intelligence, and some of my students think business analytics is just following the numbers on the business intelligence screen. No, it is not. Actually, it is broader than that one. First, describe each rank in a plain language, what happened, and descriptive analytics tell us what happened, why did it happen, and diagnostic analytics help us to look for reasons. Predictive analytics estimates what may happen next. So prescriptive analytics at the end, at the top of the ladder, I can say a choice about what to do. Moving upward doesn't automatically means better work or better decision or better business analytic people. So it is like a simple descriptive view can highly valuable, and it can even help you to make a decision. Okay, but obviously we are not going to stop there. We need to carry on, and we need to dig out more up to the prescribe. If it helps a manager at acting quickly, yeah, it works. Then it is fine. However, in many cases, a fancy predictive model has little value if nobody trusts it or knows what to do with the results. So therefore, mainly, the descriptive view, mainly more highly likely valuable than other section. However, we are going to dig out and we are going to check that one every week and every hour. So I give a professional example. If I need to, a supermarket may start by describing stock outs, then diagnose which stores and products are most affected, then predict demand for next week, and finally prescribe reorder plan. And you are going to, as a student, you are going to advise them to usually understand the ladder better when the same case runs through for all four levels. theory, we can mention briefly, analytics maturity models often show this progression, and maturity only matters when output is tied to a real decision owners. So there's a one tutor prompt here, which rank of the ladder creates the most value in your mini case, and which rank is the hardest without stakeholders clarity. So this is the why and which questions are coming for this one. And yeah, this is certainly helpful. Okay. Hard and soft elements must be traveled together when business analytics are processed in this ladder. In the previous slide, you have seen. Hard elements: structure, data collection, some metrics. How you are going to define that metrics, and descriptive and diagnostic and predictive and prescriptive logic. How you are going to set that elements. And problem statement, KPI trees, and process models. So, because in many cases, students often think technical quality alone guarantees the success, explain that hard elements are the tools and structures, clean data, definition, and method and metrics are important. And we've seen that the soft elements are the human side mainly ignored, and trust, who's going to be owner of these steps and ladder steps, and imagine the politics in the organization, what kind of culture and language needs to be included, and willing to whether an organization or people are willing to change or accept to change. So these are the soft elements. So as you can see, human organizational culture are the main elements in the decision quality. Obviously, when we are looking all these steps and we are asking to create an effective decision at any stage, then we need to inform the student that soft element and hard elements needs to be taken into account. So maybe we can ask why a technical elegant model can still fail in practice. So you can set really great system, business analytics system, but it's not working fine because of that soft elements. Okay. We need to remind our students. Okay, problem statement canvas. Or maybe you can use a mind map or Lucidchart, whatever you want. So it is important to set a problem statement, and it is a simple discipline tool we are using. I use here a Canvas, but you can use other tools as well. And we need to inform students that before opening Excel or Power BI or Python or any other tool, they should write down 5 things: the decision, the owner, the metric, the scope, and the main constraint. So when we are setting some survey, let's say, or one of the interview, what we need to do, we need to put what is our scope, what we are going to measure, what kind of constraints we have in our surveys or in our interview. It is similar for business analytics. So when you are making decision, who's going to take in charge, and what kind of metrics is going to be taken care of? Otherwise, how we are going to measure our decisions effective or not? So it would be very difficult to follow up later on. So decision and what action may change, and name the decision owner and affected stakeholders, and specify the success metrics and the time horizon. Probably you can include Also, it is better to get some budget policy, and fairness and capacity issues exist as well. So we need to ask students to set this kind of canvas before starting making decision. They need to get these elements. Okay. Let's see from the let's start with the KPI. This is the KPI tree is help everyone, for business owners and especially students, to separate headline metrics from the levers that actually move it. Like KPI tree might help students move from a big goal to smaller drivers that shape it. Sometimes we've seen that intelligent targets, intelligent market metrics, and these are the metrics are mainly used in their smart metrics, smart targets as used by students. It is similar way we can ask them, and many students might stop and at the top level on time delivery for, let's say, Amazon delivery issue, and such as profit, maybe satisfaction, maybe these are the main elements. They might struggle to narrow it down into smaller drivers to shape the main goal. But managers, as a manager, they need to improve outcome by acting on parts of underneath, because this is what is working, okay? Because it is difficult to come up with big profit increase, okay? But however, what you are going to do, maybe in order to profit increase or in order to on time delivery, in my slide, you can see preparation time, route time, driver capacity, you can dig out. So they need to look at some root cause analysis. Root cause analysis not for the finding the problem, but improve the performance. Okay. So mainly they use the smart thinking here, smart target goals. So maybe we can ask students at this point, which branch in this tree looks measurable? So as soon as they capture that point, I think they can start to think about metrics, performance metrics, KPI, key performance metrics. Okay, maybe I should mention that one earlier. KPI is the key performance indicators. Okay, next slide is about stakeholders mapping, which is part of that ownership. And I think we need to explain students stakeholders mapping is important, not just for communication exercise, who's going to be informed, who's going to make decision, or who's going to be involved with this project. It is a way of reducing project risk early. A good analytic people or good analytic solution can still fail if wrong people are ignored or they have been surprised with what we are doing. We need to inform them, and maybe they might feel threatened. They might feel they are going to lose their power. Okay, so in that way, like I can say, keep informed on the right, the y-axis, interest is increased. We need to inform those people. Okay, if the interest is less, they can only monitor. Okay, if the influence are increased in the x-axis, as you can see, like keep satisfied and manage closely. So these are the this is the kind of map. Okay, like let's say the coffee chain case, one of the case study in our textbook, the operation might lead operation would like to get some speed. So so this is operational management's perspective. Okay, operational perspective. So in the other sense, like if the finance departments, in their perspective, they may want to control the cost. in terms of store management or the retail, like if let's say this is the coffee chain, if let's say Costa or Starbucks, the manager, the store manager may want the fairness, and they may want to create like reliable service to customers because good and correct timing improve the service quality. So literally because they want to satisfy customers. So this is these are the goals. As you can see, these are the goals overlap but are not identical for different perspectives. So it is important to inform students. Business analytics, okay, is going to make a good job statistically, and this is really valuable. But they need to spot the people perspective might differentiate, and they might have a different understanding about problem or decision. They might feel ignored or surprised or threatened because of that business analytics. So one dashboard, BI dashboard, business intelligence dashboard, wouldn't satisfy everyone. So therefore, business analytics students needs to understand. Give a real world style example, like from public service or universities. A new performance dashboard may look useful to senior management, but frontline staff may worry that if the measures are unfair or incomplete, but they're because they are not covering all the elements, soft elements they are taking care of. If that concern is ignored, resistance might struggle. Then business analytics may not work in the organizations. So at this point, I may suggest that the question is question for students. I may suggest who has the most influence in the case. So they need to take. I think they need to prioritize as a business analytics professional in the future. They need to prioritize who is the most influence in the case, who might quietly block change even without formal power. So they need to map it out. So therefore, stakeholder mapping is important. Okay. Some workshop and pitfalls and hence I need to indicate here is this is the final slide for the first hour from the explanation to practice. I would like to invite or guide students and advise you as a business analytic lecturer. The purpose of the exercise is not to create a perfect answer, but to show how quickly vague complaints can be turned into the stronger analytics brief. So, for example, common pitfalls, jumping straight to the data without decision, without making that KPI trees, without making that stakeholders trees. Okay, these are the common pitfalls. So they need to include. So as a prompt, customers' complaints are rising in pairs, and rewrite this as a problem statement canvas and draw a first KPI tree. And on deliverable way, one sentence decision question, 3 KPI branches, and 1 named stakeholder risks. And which part was hardest choosing the metrics, the owner or the constraint? So this is another cue. Yes, this is the first hour lecture for business analytics, and next section we are gonna go with the data and measurement and descriptive analytics. Thank you very much for listening.